There is a moment each evening when the world exhales, the light softens, shadows lengthen across water and grass, and the smallest sounds, ripples, leaves, distant calls, become easier to hear than our own thoughts. It is in this gentle pause that nature invites us to rest. Somewhere along a slow-moving river, where warm air settles close to the earth, a quiet presence stirs, not in a hurry, not seeking attention, simply being. Tonight, our journey drifts toward that calm presence, toward the unhurried life of the capybara, a creature shaped by water, patience, and peaceful rhythm. Welcome to Sleepy Nature Sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. As you listen, there is nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to solve. The stories here are not meant to wake the mind, but to ease it, like moonlight sliding across a river's surface. Capybaras live where land and water meet. They move slowly through tall grasses, rest together in small groups, and often seem as though they are always on the edge of sleep. Their world is guided by warmth, safety, and steady repetition. Days shaped by sunlight, nights shaped by stillness, a life that unfolds without urgency. In the quiet way they exist, capybaras remind us of something easily forgotten, that rest is not a reward, but a natural state. That slowness can be a form of wisdom, that being present without striving is enough. If you are listening from far away, from a city, a bedroom, a place filled with noise, know that you are still welcome here. Nature does not require proximity, only attention. Even imagined rivers can calm the mind. Even distant grasses can sway within thought. If this quiet space feels comforting, you are gently invited to join our small community. Those who return night after night to let nature carry them toward sleep. And if you wish to support this channel, know that doing so simply helps keep these slow stories flowing, like water that never rushes. Now, allow the day to loosen its grip. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath slow, unforced, natural. In the moments ahead, we will wander deeper into the capybara's peaceful world, through waterlogged meadows, twilight wetlands, and the gentle rituals of a creature that knows how to rest. For now, simply listen. The night has already begun, along the edge of a quiet wetland, where tall grasses bend gently toward the water. There is a question that does not ask to be answered quickly. It rests in the space between ripples, in the pauses between distant calls, in the way evening light lingers just a moment longer than expected. What does a life without hurry remember? This question does not belong only to humans. It belongs to the land itself, to the water that returns to the same banks each season, to the animals who move through their days guided not by schedules, but by warmth, safety, and the slow turning of light. The capybara lives inside this question. From the outside, its life may seem simple: eating, resting, floating, staying close to others. Yet within that simplicity is a depth of knowing, a quiet understanding that nothing needs to be rushed in order to be complete. As you listen now, you may notice how often your own thoughts try to move ahead, planning, remembering, anticipating. Let them do so gently, without resistance. like leaves drifting on the surface of water. Thoughts can pass without pulling you along. The capybara does not think about tomorrow in words. It does not revisit yesterday in detail. Its awareness stays close to the present moment, the temperature of the water, the nearness of the group, the softness of mud beneath its body. In this way, memory is not a story, but a feeling, carried in the body, repeated through habit, renewed each day. What if memory does not need effort? What if rest itself is a form of remembering? The wetlands remember through layers. Silt settles. Plants grow, decay, and grow again. Paths are formed not by force, but by repeated gentle passage. Over time, the land becomes shaped by calm persistence rather than urgency. And perhaps the same is true for us. As you breathe now, notice the rhythm without changing it. Inhale, exhale. Each breath arrives on its own, just as the river flows without instruction. You do not need to make rest happen. You only need to allow space for it. The capybara's world does not reward speed. It rewards awareness, stillness, the ability to remain when nothing dramatic is happening. In that remaining, safety grows, trust forms, sleep comes naturally. So the question beneath the reeds lingers, not demanding an answer, only an invitation. What might you remember if you allowed yourself to slow down completely? There is no need to decide tonight. The journey ahead will offer quiet clues in water, in movement, in shared warmth, in the steady repetition of a peaceful life. For now, let the question rest beside you. Like the wetland at dusk, it will hold its shape. Before we follow the capybara more closely, it helps to pause and notice the world that holds it. Not as a map or a list of features, but as a feeling, an atmosphere that slowly surrounds everything within it. This is a land shaped by water that prefers to linger. Wide rivers move without urgency, spreading into marshes and shallow pools. Tall grasses sway and settle again. Mud remembers each step, then smooths itself over. The air is often warm, heavy with moisture, carrying the quiet scent of plants and earth. Nothing here feels sharp or rushed. Even the horizon seems softened by distance. Wetlands are places of in-between, not fully land, not fully water. They exist in a gentle balance, and that balance influences every life within them. Sound travels differently here, absorbed by reeds and softened by open space. Light reflects off water in slow, wavering patterns, stretching moments longer than they might otherwise last. It is in this environment that the capybara belongs. The largest rodent in the world does not dominate its surroundings. It blends into them. Its coloring echoes dried grasses and shaded banks. Its movements follow the curves of shorelines rather than cutting across them. When it rests, it often does so half in water, half out, never choosing one state over another. To understand the capybara, you must first understand this landscape's patience. Water rises and falls with the seasons. During floods, the wetland expands, creating new paths and temporary islands. During drier times, it contracts again, revealing familiar ground. The land does not resist these changes. It accommodates them. Life adapts quietly, without protest. As you listen, imagine standing at the edge of such a place at dusk. The day has been long, but not demanding. The light fades gradually, and the temperature shifts almost imperceptibly. Insects hum in low, steady tones. Somewhere nearby, something moves through grass, not hurried, not hidden. This landscape does not ask for attention. It simply offers it. You may notice how different this feels from places built around speed. There are no straight lines here, no signals urging movement. Everything curves, slows, and repeats. Time seems less divided, less measured. Afternoon blends into evening. Evening blends into night. The capybara thrives in this softness. Its life is synchronized with the land's rhythm, feeding when grass is richest, resting when heat rises, entering water when calm is needed most. The environment does not challenge it to be faster or stronger. It invites it to be steady, and perhaps that invitation extends to you as well. As your breathing continues, allow your attention to widen slightly, as if taking in a broad horizon. There is no need to focus sharply. Let awareness drift, just as water spreads across a floodplain. This is the landscape before us, not only a place on earth, but a pace of being, a reminder that slowness is not absence, and stillness is not empty. From here, we will begin to notice smaller details, movements, behaviors, quiet patterns. But first, let this world settle around you. Nothing here is in a hurry. As morning light begins to stretch across the wetland, it reveals a form shaped not for speed or spectacle, but for ease. The capybara's body carries no sharp edges, no urgency in its lines. Everything about it seems rounded, softened, and balanced, as if designed to move gently through a world that values calm. Its broad back curves smoothly, offering a place where warmth gathers and tension never seems to settle. Short legs carry weight close to the ground, creating a feeling of steadiness with each step. There is no bounce, no sudden lift, only a quiet, grounded motion that mirrors the land itself. The capybara does not rush, because it does not need to. Its body is perfectly suited for a life that flows between water and land. Slight webbing between the toes makes swimming effortless, while strong muscles allow it to drift or paddle without strain. When it enters the water, there is no splash of excitement, only a soft parting of the surface, as though the river already knows it is coming. Notice how different this feels from bodies shaped by urgency. The capybara's head sits low, eyes and ears positioned high enough to remain aware while the rest of the body relaxes. Even when partially submerged, it can observe quietly, without lifting itself fully into alertness. Awareness exists here without tension, presence without effort. As you listen, you may become aware of your own body, the way you are sitting or lying, the places where weight rests. There is no need to adjust anything. Simply noticing is enough. Like the capybara, you can allow gravity to do its work, letting support rise to meet you. The skin of the capybara is thick and resilient, yet flexible, able to withstand sun, water, and time without complaint. Its fur dries slowly, holding warmth after a swim. Nothing about it seems hurried to return to dryness or activity. Comfort arrives naturally in its own time. This body does not seek to stand out. It seeks to belong. In the wetland, the capybara's form blends seamlessly with grasses and shadows. When it rests, it often resembles a smooth mound of earth more than an animal, This blending is not camouflage born of fear, but harmony born of familiarity. The land recognizes what belongs, and perhaps that recognition is what creates such deep calm. There is no internal struggle here between movement and rest. The capybara moves when movement is useful, rests when rest feels right. Its body responds to signals from the environment rather than commands from the mind. Imagine what it might feel like to trust your body in this way, to let breath deepen when it wishes, to let muscles soften without instruction, to let stillness arrive without guilt. The capybara's body teaches without words. It shows us that calm is not something added later. It can be built into the way we exist. That ease can be structural. That rest can be a natural state, not something earned. As the light continues to warm the wetland, the capybara settles again, unmoved by the passing hour. Its body holds the lesson quietly. Calm does not need to be chased. It can simply be inhabited. In the capybara's world, water is not a boundary. It is a companion, a place where the day can be set down gently, like a burden that no longer needs to be carried. As the sun climbs higher and warmth settles across the wetland, bodies begin to drift toward the river's edge. There is no signal, no command, just a shared understanding that water will receive them when the land grows heavy with heat. One by one, capybaras slip forward, their movements unremarkable, almost absent of intention. The surface parts softly, and the day begins to slow. Water holds weight differently. Within it, muscles no longer need to brace. Joints loosen. Breath deepens without effort. The capybara floats with only its eyes, ears, and nose above the surface, the rest of its body surrendered to buoyancy. Nothing is forced to stay upright. Nothing must be held in place. The river does the work. In gentle science, this is adaptation. Webbed feet, dense bodies, lungs that manage breath calmly. But here, adaptation feels less like survival and more like trust. The water is cool, steady, predictable. It does not rush past unless the season asks it to. It does not demand movement. It allows stillness. Listen closely now, and you may hear how water changes sound. Voices soften, footsteps disappear. The world grows quieter, as if wrapped in a low, continuous hum. This is the sound of nothing needing attention. Capybaras often remain like this for long stretches of time, half asleep, half aware. The boundary between resting and waking blurs. The water rocks them gently, not enough to wake, not enough to pull them fully into sleep. A perfect in-between. And perhaps you have known this feeling before. A bath after a long day, floating on your back, eyes closed, held by something larger than yourself. That moment when thoughts slow, simply because the body feels safe. In the water, capybaras are rarely alone. They cluster quietly, bodies touching or nearly touching, sharing warmth even as the water cools them. There is no sense of crowding, no impatience. Space is flexible here. Presence is enough. The river accepts them all without distinction. As the afternoon stretches on, clouds may pass overhead, briefly dimming the light. Ripples shimmer and then smooth again. The day continues, but its sharp edges dissolve in reflection. If your thoughts drift now, let them. There is no need to hold on to any single image. Like the water beneath the capybara, your awareness can support without gripping. Notice your breath again. Notice how it rises and falls, much like the gentle movement around a floating body. Nothing to change, nothing to improve. Where water holds the day, effort loosens its grip. Time becomes softer. The world feels less demanding, more forgiving. And in that forgiving space, rest finds you naturally, the way a river finds its banks, the way a body finds stillness when it is finally allowed to be carried. In the quiet world of the capybara, communication rarely arrives in sharp sounds or sudden gestures. It moves instead through posture, spacing, and shared calm. A language spoken softly, where meaning is carried by stillness as much as by motion. When capybaras gather, there is little need for display. One settles into the grass, another follows, not because it must, but because the space feels right. Bodies align gently, parallel or close, mirroring one another without effort. In these small adjustments, understanding passes silently. Stillness here is not emptiness, it is information. A relaxed body signals safety. A slow blink suggests trust. The absence of movement tells others that the moment is secure enough to rest within. Even the slightest shift, a head lifting, ears turning, ripples awareness through the group, not as alarm, but as quiet acknowledgement. This is gentle science expressed through calm behavior. Social animals often rely on constant signals, but capybaras rely on fewer, softer ones. Their world does not require constant reassurance. Stability is assumed unless something changes. And because change arrives slowly in the wetlands, calm becomes the default. As you listen, you may notice how much of your own communication depends on words. Explanations, clarifications, reassurances repeated again and again. Here, none of that is necessary. Presence does the work. Silence holds meaning. Imagine what it might feel like to be understood without speaking. To sit beside others without needing to fill the space. To share quiet without discomfort. To rest in a moment that asks nothing from you. Capybaras often rest with eyes partially closed, not fully asleep, not fully awake. In this state, awareness remains wide but unstrained. They are listening without effort, watching without focus. Their stillness is active in the gentlest way. This teaches us something subtle. Attention does not need tension to exist. You can be aware without being alert, present without being prepared, hear without holding yourself tightly together. As your breathing continues, allow your jaw to soften. Let the tongue rest easily. Notice how much communication your body carries without words. The rise of breath, the release of weight, the quiet signals of comfort. In the wetlands, evening approaches again. Shadows lengthen. The group settles closer. No one announces the change. It is felt rather than stated. The land cools. The air thickens. Stillness deepens naturally. The language of stillness is one you already know. You learned it before language had words. In moments of safety, in times when nothing needed explanation. It has been waiting patiently, beneath the noise, beneath the effort. Like the capybara, you can return to it now, no translation required. As the day leans gently toward evening, the wetlands grow quieter, not because life disappears, but because it draws closer together. In this softening light, the capybara's way of being with others becomes especially clear. Companionship here is not loud. It does not compete for attention. It simply exists, steady and unassuming. Capybaras are rarely alone by choice. They live in groups that form and hold without ceremony. No greetings announce arrival, no signals mark belonging. A body moves closer, and that is enough. Space adjusts naturally, like water shifting around stones. There is comfort in this nearness. Bodies rest side by side, sometimes touching, sometimes only sharing warmth through proximity. One capybara may lie with its head resting lightly against another's flank. Another may sit just close enough to feel movement, breath brushing breath. These small points of contact require no interpretation. They say only this: you are not alone. In gentle science, this closeness offers protection. Many eyes, many ears, shared awareness. But in the lived moment, it feels less like strategy and more like ease. Togetherness does not feel like vigilance. It feels like rest made deeper by trust. Notice how different this is from togetherness shaped by noise. There is no pushing here, no claiming of space, no hierarchy expressed through force. Younger capybaras move freely among adults, learning the shape of safety by experiencing it directly. Calm is not taught, it is absorbed. As you listen, you may reflect on your own experience of being with others. How often companionship is filled with effort, conversation, explanation, performance. Here, none of that is required. Presence alone is sufficient. Imagine sitting beside someone without needing to speak, without wondering what comes next, without feeling responsible for the moment. In the capybara's world, this is normal. The group breathes together, not in synchrony, but in harmony. Each individual follows its own rhythm, yet the overall pace remains slow and even. When one settles more deeply into rest, others follow without thought. Calm spreads quietly, like warmth across shared ground. As dusk deepens, insects begin their low, steady chorus. The light cools. The group shifts slightly, finding positions that feel right. There is no urgency to perfect the arrangement. It will adjust again later if needed. This flexibility is part of the piece. You too can allow yourself this flexibility now. There is no need to hold your body in one position if comfort asks for a change. There is no need to hold your mind in one thought. Let things rearrange gently, without judgment. Companionship without clamor teaches us something essential. Connection does not need intensity to be real. It does not need constant expression. Sometimes, the deepest sense of belonging arrives quietly, when nothing is being asked of us. Like the capybara resting among its group, you are allowed to simply be here, supported by presence, softened by closeness, carried by the calm of shared space. The night continues its slow arrival. Togetherness remains. Nothing more is required. When the wetlands are washed in soft light and the air feels warm and unhurried, the capybara turns toward nourishment, not with hunger that demands, but with a quiet readiness. Eating here is not an interruption to rest. It is part of the same slow rhythm. Grasses bend easily beneath careful mouths. Stems are selected without urgency, chewed patiently, broken down over time rather than rushed through. Each movement is small. Each bite is followed by a pause. The body seems to know that there is no competition, no scarcity pressing close. Food is plentiful because patience allows it to be. Capybaras are grazers, shaped by repetition. They return to the same patches of grass, the same edges of the wetland, allowing plants to recover and grow again. In gentle science, this creates balance, consumption without depletion. In lived experience, it feels like trust. Trust that the land will continue to offer what is needed as long as nothing is taken too quickly. As you listen, notice how often eating in your own life may feel hurried, meals shortened, attention divided, nourishment treated as something to finish rather than something to experience. Here, that urgency dissolves. The capybara eats without distraction. Its attention stays close to the body, to taste, texture, movement. Chewing becomes rhythmic, almost meditative. There's no anticipation of what comes next, only presence with what is now. In this way, feeding becomes another form of rest. Even digestion moves slowly. The body takes its time, extracting what it needs, releasing the rest back into the cycle of the wetland. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forced. Life continues in quiet loops, each supporting the next. You might imagine yourself sitting in this landscape, watching the gentle motion of grazing. The sound of teeth against grass is soft, repetitive, calming. It asks nothing of you. It invites your own pace to slow, your breath to deepen. In groups, capybaras often eat side by side, their movements uncoordinated yet harmonious. One pauses, another continues. No one rushes the other along. Hunger is individual, but rhythm is shared. This balance allows calm to remain uninterrupted. As the light shifts again, clouds passing, shadows moving, feeding tapers naturally, there's no signal to stop. Bodies simply settle back into stillness when nourishment feels complete. This teaches a quiet lesson. That enough is something felt, not calculated. That satisfaction arrives gently when we are attentive. That living gently includes knowing when to pause. If your mind wanders now, let it. Like a grazing animal lifting its head briefly before returning to the grass, attention can drift and return without consequence. There is no goal to reach, no ending to complete. Eating slowly, living gently, this is not a rule, but a rhythm. One that the capybara follows without thought, and one that you can borrow for this moment. Let your breath move at its own pace. Let the body settle when it wishes. The wetland remains patient. As the day reaches its fullest light, the wetlands enter a quieter phase. The energy of morning feeding fades, replaced by a long, unbroken stretch of warmth. This is the hour when nothing new needs to begin, and nothing important is ending. It is simply afternoon, wide, slow, and generous. Capybaras respond to this warmth instinctively. Bodies drift toward shade cast by reeds, trees, or the gentle curve of the riverbank. Some lower themselves fully into the grass. Others remain half in water, half out, letting the sun warm their backs while the river cools their bellies. The balance is effortless. Afternoons are not for movement here. They are for sinking into time. The sun presses softly, never sharp. Heat builds gradually, encouraging muscles to loosen rather than tense. Breathing slows on its own. Eyes close, not fully, but enough to let the world blur at the edges. Awareness remains, but it is wide and unfocused, like light diffused through water. In gentle science, this is energy conservation. a way of living that respects the body's limits and the environment's pace. But from within the moment, it feels more like permission to rest without justification. Notice how the landscape supports this rest. Sounds grow fewer and lower. Insects hum steadily, without variation. Leaves barely move. Even the water seems thicker, its surface less eager to ripple. Everything agrees, this is not the time for effort. Capybaras may lie stretched out, limbs relaxed, heads resting on the ground or against one another. Their bodies absorb warmth, storing it quietly for the cooler hours ahead. There is no vigilance in this posture, only trust built through countless afternoons like this one. As you listen, imagine how it would feel to give yourself such an afternoon. No task waiting at the edge, no need to measure time, just warmth, support, and the steady passing of light. If your thoughts slow now, allow them to. If they drift, let them wander without direction. Like clouds crossing a wide sky, they do not need to be followed. In these sun-warmed hours, sleep sometimes arrives unexpectedly. A deeper rest, brief but complete. And when it fades, waking happens just as gently, no startle, no urgency. The body simply opens its eyes again when ready. This is how afternoons teach the art of pause, not as something separate from living, but as part of it. A reminder that productivity is not the measure of a day well lived. Sometimes the most complete hours are the quietest ones, the ones that leave no trace except ease. The sun continues its slow arc. Warmth remains. Nothing asks more of you than this moment offers. In the gentle stillness of the wetland, the capybara experiences the world through senses that are never hurried. Sight, sound, scent, and touch arrive softly, one at a time, without competing for attention. Nothing overwhelms. Nothing demands an immediate response. The eyes of the capybara rest low and calm, taking in the landscape in broad impressions rather than sharp detail. Movement is noticed, but not chased. Light is felt as warmth before it is seen as shape. Shadows pass, and the body registers them without concern. Vision here is less about focus and more about awareness. Hearing works in much the same way. Sounds do not interrupt. They blend. The low hum of insects, the distant call of a bird, the faint lap of water against the bank, all of it layers together into a steady background. The capybara listens without effort, distinguishing what matters only when it needs to. Most of the time, sound simply exists, like air. Smell drifts slowly on the warm breeze. Damp earth, fresh grass, the familiar scent of others nearby. These signals are comforting, not stimulating. They confirm what the body already knows. This place is safe. This moment is ordinary. This rhythm is familiar. Even touch is softened by the environment. Grass bends beneath weight. Mud yields gently. Water supports rather than resists. The body is rarely pressed against anything hard or unyielding. Contact here reassures rather than alerts. Together, these senses create a world where alertness and relaxation are not opposites. Awareness does not require tension. Presence does not require effort. As you listen, you might begin to notice your own senses in a similar way. The temperature of the air on your skin, the quietest sounds around you, the weight of your body where it rests. There is no need to sharpen any of these perceptions. Let them remain soft, just as they are. Like the capybara, you can receive the world without reaching for it. In this state, the boundary between inside and outside grows thin. Sensations pass through without sticking. Thoughts lose their urgency. The mind settles into a gentle openness, supported by the body's ease. This is what it means for the senses to rest, not to shut down, but to stop working so hard. The wetland continues its quiet afternoon. Light shifts slightly. A breeze passes, barely noticeable. The capybara remains at ease, sensing without striving, present without effort. And for a few moments longer, you can rest there too, in a world that asks nothing of your attention and offers calm in return. As the day slowly leans toward evening, something subtle happens within the group. There is no announcement, no visible change in behavior that marks the moment. And yet, a feeling settles in, a sense that this place, these bodies, this shared stillness are enough. This is when the herd becomes home. Capybaras do not build shelters in the way humans do. They do not mark territory with walls or borders. Home for them is created through presence, through repeated return, through familiarity that grows quietly over time. A stretch of riverbank becomes known not by name, but by feeling. The slope of the mud, the way the grass parts, the sound of water at night, and most of all, by who is there. Within the group, each individual occupies its place without force. There is no tension in belonging. Younger capybaras move freely among older ones, learning the rhythms of rest and movement simply by observing and joining. Safety is not taught through correction, but through consistency. This consistency shapes trust. When danger is absent, and often, even when it is merely distant, the group relaxes together. Bodies lower, heads rest, eyes close or half close in unison. The closeness of others allows each individual to release just a little more weight, a little more vigilance. Awareness is shared, distributed gently among many. In gentle science, this is collective security. In lived experience, it feels like relief. Imagine what it would be like to feel that kind of belonging. To know that you do not need to stay fully alert because others are near. To rest knowing that awareness is held not by you alone, but by the space around you. The herd shifts subtly as evening approaches. Some move closer to the water, others settle deeper into grass. There is no separation, only gentle reorganization. Home is not one fixed spot. It moves with the group, adapting to comfort and need. As you listen, you may notice a similar desire in yourself, a wish for ease, for a place where nothing needs to be proven, where rest is allowed simply because you are present. Here, home is not a structure, it is a state of being. The wetlands offer this state generously. Familiar sounds return night after night. Temperatures cool predictably. The rhythm of insects and distant calls remains steady. Within this repetition, the body learns that it can soften without risk, and so do the capybaras. They settle closer now, forming loose clusters. Breathing slows. Movement becomes rare. The world narrows to warmth, closeness, and the quiet assurance that this moment will hold. If your thoughts begin to drift, let them. If your body feels heavier, allow it. You are not leaving anything behind. You are arriving into a gentler pace, into a shared stillness. When the herd becomes home, nothing else is required. The night is near, As evening deepens, movement returns, not as urgency, but as habit. The capybaras rise slowly, one after another, as if responding to a rhythm older than thought. Hooves press gently into softened earth, and grass bends, then lifts again. Nothing is disturbed for long. The land accepts each step and releases it just as easily. These paths are not planned. They are remembered by the body. Over time, capybaras follow the same gentle routes between water, feeding grounds, and resting places. The grass grows familiar with their passage. The soil learns the shape of their weight. Even the air seems to settle more quickly after they move through. In this way, rhythm is formed, not through repetition alone, but through mutual adjustment between life and land. In gentle science, these trails reduce effort and conserve energy. But in feeling, they are something softer. They are reassurance, a knowing of where to place the next step without thinking, a freedom from decision. As the herd moves, there is no leader pulling ahead. The pace is shared, shaped by the slowest among them. Younger capybaras follow easily, learning not by instruction, but by simply being part of the motion. The rhythm teaches itself. Listen closely, and you may sense how this movement sounds, not loud or sharp, but low and muted. Hooves press, grass whispers, water responds with a quiet ripple. These sounds do not interrupt the calm, they deepen it. They remind the body that movement and rest are not opposites, but part of the same gentle cycle. You may notice something similar within yourself now. The subtle rhythm of breath, the rise and fall of your chest, the way your body adjusts slightly, seeking comfort without asking permission. There is no need to control these movements. Like the capybara's path through grass, they know where to go. As dusk settles further, movement slows again. The herd reaches a familiar place, a bend in the river, a wide patch of ground that feels right. Bodies lower. The rhythm softens back into stillness as naturally as it began. This is how the land teaches ease, step by step, without urgency. Pause by pause, without resistance. A rhythm that carries you forward only as far as you need to go. The grass settles, the earth remembers, and the night continues its quiet approach. Night does not fall suddenly in the wetlands. It arrives the way calm arrives, gradually, almost without being noticed. Light thins rather than disappears. Colors fade into one another. The edges of the world soften, and what remains feels quieter, closer, more contained. Capybaras sense this change long before darkness settles in. Their bodies respond not to clocks or cues, but to temperature, shadow, and the subtle lowering of sound. There is no rush to prepare. Night has come many times before. It will come many times again. As the sun sinks lower, the heat of the day loosens its hold. Air cools just enough to be felt on the skin. The water releases stored warmth slowly, creating a gentle balance between cool and comfort. Bodies adjust almost imperceptibly, shifting position, drawing closer, or slipping partially into the river. This transition holds no tension. In gentle science, capybaras are crepuscular, most active at dawn and dusk. But in lived experience, dusk feels less like activity and more like settling. Movement becomes purposeful but unhurried. Feeding slows, walking shortens. Stillness returns easily. Sounds change as well. The daytime hum fades, replaced by deeper, steadier tones. Insects take their places without competition. The calls of distant animals carry farther now, but they feel muted, as though wrapped in air. Capybaras listen without lifting their heads. Their awareness widens at night, but it does not sharpen. Eyes remain open just enough. Ears turn lazily. Vigilance exists, but it is shared, softened by closeness and familiarity. No single body carries the full weight of attention. As you listen, notice how your own surroundings feel different as night approaches. Even indoors, evening brings a quiet shift. The mind begins to release the shape of the day. Thoughts lose some of their edges. The world feels less demanding. You do not need to mark this transition. You do not need to prepare for it perfectly. Night knows how to arrive on its own. In the wetlands, shadows deepen beneath grasses. Reflections stretch across water. The line between sky and land becomes harder to distinguish. Everything feels closer now, held together by darkness rather than separated by light. The capybaras lower themselves again, bodies settling into positions learned through countless nights. Heads rest. Breathing slows. Stillness thickens, like fog rising gently from the river. If sleep begins to approach you now, allow it. There is nothing to resist. Like night itself, rest does not need invitation. It simply arrives when the conditions are right. And here, in this quiet moment, they are. The wetlands breathe, the herd settles, and night completes its soft arrival. As darkness settles more completely over the wetlands, the air cools just enough to be noticed. It is not cold, only different. A quiet signal that the day has fully released its hold. In response, the capybaras draw closer together, not out of need, but out of familiarity. Bodies arrange themselves in loose, natural clusters. One presses gently against another. A flank becomes a resting place. A back offers warmth without intention. There is no perfect formation, no effort to create symmetry. Comfort finds its own shape. Shared warmth moves slowly. Heat passes from body to body, subtle and steady, like a memory being carried forward. In this closeness, muscles soften further. Breath slows. The space between waking and sleeping grows wider, easier to step into. Silence deepens as well, not the absence of sound, but the absence of disturbance. The wetland continues to speak in low tones. Water shifts softly. Insects hum. Somewhere in the distance, a nightbird calls once, then settles again. These sounds do not pull attention outward. They wrap around it. Capybaras remain still within this shared quiet. In gentle science, this closeness conserves energy and reinforces social bonds. But from within the moment, it feels simpler than that. It feels like belonging without effort, like rest that does not require permission. Imagine what it might feel like to rest this way, to let your body lean without concern, to feel warmth nearby without needing to respond, to share space without expectation. Here, silence is not awkward, it is generous. It allows each body to sink further into itself, supported by the presence of others. No one needs to watch closely. No one needs to listen sharply. Awareness becomes diffuse, spread evenly, like light filtered through mist. As you listen, you may notice how your own body responds to this image. Perhaps a sense of heaviness, perhaps a desire to curl inward slightly. perhaps a deepening of breath. There is no need to analyze these sensations. Let them be what they are. The capybara's eyes close more fully now, heads lower. Movement becomes rare, limited to small adjustments, an ear shifting, a breath deepening, a body settling more comfortably into the earth. Night holds them gently. Shared warmth, shared silence. These are not things to achieve. They arise naturally when safety is present and effort is released. The wetlands provide this safety through repetition and familiarity. The herd provides it through closeness and trust. And in listening, you may find that this quiet is available to you as well. Not because you have done anything to earn it, but because stillness is part of being alive. The night stretches on. The silence remains kind, and rest moves closer, carried on warmth and calm. Through the deepening night, the river continues its quiet work. It does not announce itself. It does not change its pace for darkness or light. It simply moves, steady, unhurried, always present. For the capybara, this sound is as familiar as breath. Water slips past reeds and banks with a low, constant murmur. It is not loud enough to demand attention, yet never fully fades away. The river breathes in this way, expanding and releasing, shaping the silence rather than breaking it. Capybaras listen without listening. Their ears register the water as part of the background of safety. A steady sound means nothing is wrong. Sudden silence would be more alarming than this gentle flow. Consistency becomes comfort. Rhythm becomes reassurance. In gentle science, continuous low-frequency sounds help mask sudden noises, reducing stress and allowing deeper rest. But within the lived moment, it feels simpler. The river tells the body that the world is continuing as it should. As the herd rests, bodies rise and fall slowly with breath. Some capybaras remain partially in the water, allowing the river's movement to rock them almost imperceptibly. Others rest on the bank, close enough to feel the cool air drifting upward from the surface. The river connects them all. Listen now, and imagine that sound, not sharply, but broadly. A soft, repeating presence, like wind through distant trees, like waves far from shore. A sound that does not change enough to be followed, only enough to be trusted. You may notice how your own breathing begins to mirror this rhythm. Inhale, exhale, no pause forced, no depth required. The river does not rush its breath. It does not hold it either. It allows movement to continue in the most efficient way possible. Smooth, uninterrupted, calm. This is what the capybara hears night after night, and what its body has learned to associate with safety and rest. As hours pass, the river's surface reflects fragments of moonlight, stretching them into long, broken lines. These reflections shift gently with each small movement of water, never settling into a fixed shape. Even stillness here is alive. If thoughts arise now, let them drift like these reflections. They do not need to form a story. They do not need to arrive anywhere. They can shimmer briefly, then dissolve back into the dark. Listening to the river's breath teaches a quiet lesson. You do not need silence to rest. You need steadiness. You need something that continues without asking anything from you. The capybaras know this instinctively. Their bodies soften further as the night deepens. Awareness loosens. sleep approaches not as an event, but as a continuation of listening. The river breathes, the herd rests, and you are carried gently along with them. There is a moment in the night when effort releases almost completely. Muscles no longer hold themselves in readiness. Breath finds its most natural depth. For the capybara, this moment often arrives in the water, where floating becomes not an action, but a state. The river receives the body without resistance. Buoyancy lifts gently, redistributing weight so evenly that no single part of the body must work to stay supported. Legs drift. The spine softens. The surface of the water cradles the capybara in a way the land never quite can. Here, gravity loosens its grip. Floating is not swimming. There is no direction to choose, no destination to reach. The capybara remains nearly motionless, guided only by subtle adjustments, an ear turning, a slow blink, a breath that deepens and releases. The water responds immediately, making room for each small shift. It is a quiet conversation between body and river, carried out without words. In gentle science, floating reduces strain, conserves energy, and regulates temperature. But in lived experience, it feels like surrender, not giving up, but giving over, allowing something larger to carry what no longer needs to be held. As you listen, imagine that feeling in your own body, being supported on all sides, nothing pressing sharply, nothing slipping away. The mind often resists stillness on land. It looks for something to do, something to solve. But in water, stillness feels natural. The body understands it immediately. The capybara's eyes close more fully now, trust deepened by the steady presence beneath. Moonlight brushes the surface, broken into soft patterns that drift and reform. These movements are slow enough to be soothing, never repetitive enough to demand attention. The world becomes a gentle sway, almost like being rocked. If your thoughts begin to thin now, let them. Floating does not require concentration. It allows awareness to spread evenly, without edges. This is the space where sleep often begins, not with heaviness, but with lightness. The capybara floats between waking and rest, aware enough to feel the water, relaxed enough to let go. This balance is learned through repetition, through nights that end safely, through a river that never rushes its task. You do not need to practice this perfectly. You do not need to stay awake to understand it. Like the capybara, you can allow yourself to be held by breath, by stillness, by the quiet continuation of the night. The art of floating is simple: release and remain. At certain times of year, the river changes its shape, not abruptly, not with force, but gradually, day by day, night by night. Rain falls upstream, water gathers, banks soften, and the wetlands begin to widen, as if stretching after a long rest. Capybaras do not resist this change. They have known it many times before. Seasonal waters rise, spreading into low fields and quiet hollows, turning familiar ground into shallow pools. Paths blur. Land becomes water. Water becomes land. The boundary loosens, and life adjusts without alarm. In gentle science, this is flood adaptation. Capybaras are built for it. Strong swimmers, comfortable in water, able to move calmly through changing terrain. But in lived experience, the shift feels less like adaptation and more like acceptance. The world changes, so the rhythm changes with it. As water spreads, new resting places appear. Floating becomes easier. Travel requires less effort. Food arrives in different patterns, carried by water rather than rooted in place. The capybaras follow these changes intuitively, without needing to understand them. There is no sense of loss here, only movement. At night, floating bodies drift through spaces that were once dry. Moonlight reflects where grass once stood. The wetland breathes wider now, holding more water, more possibility. The sound of the river deepens slightly, but remains steady, trustworthy. Capybaras rest just as they always have, together, unhurried, aware. The rising water does not disturb their calm, it becomes part of it. As you listen, you may think of changes in your own life, seasons that arrived quietly, altering the shape of familiar ground. Some changes may have felt unsettling at first. Others may have softened over time. Like the wetland, the body often learns how to hold more than it once could. Notice your breath now, how it adjusts naturally, a little deeper, a little slower. You do not need to brace against change in this moment. You are not being asked to move anywhere new. You are only being invited to notice how calm can remain even as the world shifts gently around it. The capybaras trust the water because it has carried them safely before. The land has always returned. The cycle continues without urgency. Seasonal waters rise, bodies float, and rest remains available, even as the landscape quietly transforms. The night holds steady. In the quiet hours of the night, care moves through the herd without drawing attention to itself. It does not announce. It does not interrupt. It simply exists, woven into the way bodies arrange and respond to one another. Among the capybaras, care is not a task. It is a condition of being together. Young capybaras remain close, their smaller bodies tucked easily into the curves of adults. They do not cling or call out. Proximity alone provides reassurance. A mother shifts slightly, creating space. Another adult settles nearby, adding warmth. No single body carries responsibility alone. Care is shared here. In gentle science, capybaras practice communal caregiving. Many adults watch over the young, allowing mothers to rest, feed, or float without constant vigilance. But from within the moment, this looks less like a system and more like ease. The group responds naturally, without calculation. Young ones learn by presence rather than instruction. They follow the slow movements of adults. They rest when others rest. They float when others float. Safety is not explained. It is felt over and over again until it becomes part of the body's memory. As you listen, imagine how it would feel to grow up in such an environment, to be surrounded by calm rather than correction, to learn rhythm before expectation, to understand rest as something normal, not something earned. At night, the smallest capybaras sleep most deeply. Their breathing is soft and even. Occasionally, one stirs, adjusting its position, then settles again without fully waking. The adults remain aware, but lightly so. No one startles, no one tightens with concern. This is unspoken care at work, care that does not hover, care that does not demand gratitude, care that trusts the night. If you find yourself thinking of times when you were cared for, or times when you wished care had felt quieter, gentler, Allow those thoughts to pass without holding on to them. They can drift through like reflections on water, leaving only a sense of warmth behind. The herd remains still. The river breathes nearby. The night holds everything in place. Care continues, even in silence. In the deep hours of night, safety in the wetlands does not come from constant alertness. It comes from familiarity, from rhythms repeated so often that the body no longer questions them. For the capybara, safety is not something to defend, it is something to rest within. The herd remains aware, but not tense. Ears turn lazily, eyes open just enough to register movement. Awareness spreads across many bodies, light and shared, so no single one must carry the full weight of watching. This is vigilance without anxiety, presence without strain. In gentle science, this shared awareness reduces stress and conserves energy. But in lived experience, it feels like trust in the group, in the land, in the night itself. The absence of fear does not mean the absence of awareness. It means awareness has learned to soften. Notice how different this feels from fear-driven alertness. Fear tightens the body. It sharpens breath. It pulls attention inward. Here, none of that is needed. The wetland offers consistent signals. The river sounds the same as it did an hour ago. The air cools predictably. The night insects maintain their steady chorus. Nothing sudden breaks the pattern, and because the pattern holds, the body relaxes. Capybaras remain mostly still now, their forms barely distinguishable from the landscape. They do not scan the darkness, they belong to it. The night wraps around them gently, like water around a floating body. As you listen, consider how safety feels in your own body when fear is absent. Perhaps a loosening of the chest, perhaps a deeper, slower breath, perhaps a sense of heaviness that is not discomfort, but rest. You do not need to protect yourself from this feeling. It is allowed to be here. The capybara's world teaches that safety does not always announce itself. Sometimes it is simply the quiet continuation of familiar sounds and steady rhythms. Sometimes it is knowing without thinking that nothing urgent is required of you. In this moment, you are not being asked to solve or prepare. You're not being watched or evaluated. You are allowed to soften. Safety without fear is a gentle thing. It does not demand attention. It allows the mind to drift, the body to sink, the breath to deepen naturally. The herd rests, the night holds, and calm remains, undisturbed. Long before thought shapes intention, the body learns its way through repetition. In the wetlands, this learning unfolds quietly, night after night, through habits that require no effort to remember. For the capybara, habit is not routine imposed from outside. It is intelligence that is settled into the muscles. Each evening follows a familiar arc. Rest gives way to gentle movement. Movement returns to stillness. These patterns are not strict. They bend when the land bends, soften when conditions change. But their core remains steady, offering a structure that frees the mind from decision. When to graze, when to float, when to gather. The body knows before the mind asks. In gentle science, habit reduces cognitive load, conserving energy and stabilizing behavior. But from within the experience, habit feels like ease, like knowing where to place your feet in the dark without thinking, like breathing without counting. The capybara does not wake each night wondering what comes next. It trusts the rhythm that has carried it safely before. This trust allows attention to relax. Awareness becomes broad rather than sharp. The world feels manageable, even kind. As you listen, notice how many of your own habits are already supporting you. The way you settle into rest, the way your breath deepens when nothing presses, the way your body adjusts slightly to find comfort. These are not conscious choices. They are learned responses, quiet intelligence doing its work. In the wetlands, habit also creates continuity across generations. Young capybaras follow adults along familiar paths, learning through movement rather than instruction. The land itself reinforces these habits, responding predictably to each return. Together, body and environment shape a shared memory that lives on without words. Habit here is not stagnation. It is reassurance. It allows life to unfold without constant vigilance. It creates space for rest to deepen because nothing unexpected is being demanded. The mind can drift because the body knows how to remain. As the night stretches on, the herd remains settled within these familiar patterns. Small adjustments occur. An ear shifts, a body leans closer, but the overall rhythm holds. There is no need to improve it. It is already enough. If sleep feels closer now, let it come. Habit will carry you the rest of the way. Like the capybara guided by the quiet intelligence of repetition, you can trust what your body already knows. The night continues, the rhythm remains, and rest arrives without effort. The wetlands hold memory in a way that does not rely on words. It lives in the shape of the land, in the softened paths through grass, in the way water returns to the same shallow places night after night. Nothing here needs to recall the past deliberately. Memory is embedded, carried forward quietly by repetition. Capybaras move through this remembered world with ease. Their bodies recognize gentle slopes and familiar banks even in low light. The ground feels known beneath their weight. The water's edge offers the same cool reassurance it always has. This familiarity does not dull awareness, it steadies it. When a place is known deeply, the body does not need to question each step. In gentle science, ecosystems record presence through subtle changes: compacted soil, altered plant growth, nutrient cycles shaped by repeated use. But from within the moment, it feels more personal than that. The wetland remembers who belongs. Paths do not feel carved, they feel welcomed. As the herd settles again, bodies resting where they have rested before, there is a sense of continuity that stretches beyond this single night. Countless evenings have unfolded in much the same way. Countless rests have ended safely. This history is not reviewed or analyzed. It is simply felt as trust. You may notice how comforting this idea is, that places can remember us kindly, that rest can be familiar rather than uncertain, that the body does not need to relearn safety each time. The wetlands memory allows the present moment to be lighter. There is less to hold in mind when the ground itself feels reliable. Attention can loosen, awareness can spread, sleep can approach without resistance. As you breathe now, imagine your own surroundings taking on this quality, becoming familiar, supportive, remembered. Even if the space is new, The act of resting here can create its own gentle memory, one that the body will recognize again. Night deepens. Sounds remain steady. The water continues its quiet movement. The wetland holds everything as it has always done, without judgment or demand. When the wetland remembers, rest does not feel temporary. It feels returned. There is a particular stillness that arrives when dusk has fully settled. Yet night has not completely claimed the land. It rests along the waterline, where reflections grow longer and the surface of the river begins to darken. In this moment, the wetlands feel as though they are exhaling, releasing the final warmth of day into the coolness of evening. The capybaras sense this shift without needing to look. Bodies that have been resting rise only slightly, enough to adjust, enough to acknowledge the change. No one moves far. No one leaves the safety of the familiar. Dusk is not a signal to act, but an invitation to soften further. Light thins gently here. Colors lose their urgency and begin to blend, greens into blues, browns into shadows. The water no longer reflects sharply. Instead, it holds the sky in blurred impressions, as if memory has replaced detail. Even the air seems to slow, settling closer to the surface. This is a time when nothing is expected. In gentle reflection, dusk teaches that transitions do not need to be dramatic. Endings can arrive without tension. One state simply gives way to another, as naturally as breath turning from inhale to exhale. The capybaras remain close to the water, their forms now quieter, less defined. They do not resist the dimming world. They belong to it. Dusk does not take anything from them. It gives permission to rest more deeply. As you listen, notice how your own body responds to this imagined light. Perhaps your eyelids feel heavier. Perhaps your thoughts begin to stretch and slow. Perhaps the day feels farther away. There is no need to hold on to it. Dusk does not ask you to review what is past. It does not ask you to prepare for what comes next. It simply offers a pause, a gentle narrowing of focus, a softening of edges. In the wetlands, sounds continue at low volume. Insects hum steadily. Water shifts quietly against the bank. Nothing interrupts the calm. The capybaras settle again, breathing slow and even, as if guided by the fading light itself. This is the wisdom of dusk, that slowing down can be graceful, that letting go can be quiet, that rest can arrive without instruction. The waterline darkens, the last light dissolves, and the night welcomes everything that remains. In the quiet hours that follow dusk, the wetlands feel gently contained, as though the world has drawn closer to itself. Paths that were visible by day are now sensed rather than seen, and yet the capybaras move with the same ease as always, guided by familiarity rather than sight. These paths do not need light to exist. They live in the body's memory, in the angle of a turn, the softness of ground underfoot, the way the air cools near water. Each step follows a pattern learned slowly, without effort, over time. There is no hesitation, no need to check direction. The way forward is already known. In gentle reflection, familiar paths offer comfort, not because they are fixed, but because they are trusted. They've carried bodies safely before. They have led back to rest, back to warmth, back to stillness. And so, the body relaxes into them, even in the dark, The capybaras follow these paths together, not in a line, but in loose, unhurried proximity. Some drift slightly ahead, others lag behind. The rhythm remains shared, shaped by ease rather than order. No one is lost. No one is rushed. As you listen, you may think of paths in your own life that feel familiar in this way. Routines that no longer require thought. Places where your body knows how to settle without instruction. Moments when you can move through the day or the night without questioning each step. These paths are not limitations. They are invitations to rest. When the mind does not need to decide, it can soften. When the body knows where it is going, attention can widen. This is how familiarity creates space for calm rather than dullness. In the wetlands, these paths are renewed each night through gentle use. Grass bends and rises again. Soil yields and smooths. Nothing is worn away by repetition. Instead, the land seems to welcome return. The capybaras settle once more along a familiar stretch of ground. Bodies lower, breath deepens. The path completes itself not in movement, but in stillness. If sleep feels closer now, allow it. Familiarity will carry you the rest of the way. You do not need to stay alert. You do not need to find anything new. The comfort of familiar paths is simple. You are already where you need to be. Long after the sun has disappeared, the earth remembers. It holds warmth quietly, releasing it back into the night at a pace so slow it can barely be noticed. In the wetlands, this memory of heat rises gently from the ground, softening the air just above it, creating a sense of lingering comfort. The capybaras settle low, close to this remembered warmth. Their bodies press into soil that has absorbed daylight for hours. The earth does not feel cold or hard. It feels patient, receptive, as if it has been waiting to give this warmth back, one breath at a time. Muscles loosen further. Weight sinks without resistance. Warm earth does not rush its gift. In gentle reflection, this warmth is more than temperature. It is continuity, proof that what is past is not gone entirely. The day leaves behind something that can still be felt, even in darkness. Nothing disappears all at once. The capybaras seem to understand this instinctively. They do not seek shelter from the night. They trust the ground to hold enough comfort. Their bodies curl slightly, finding shapes that keep warmth close, not through effort, but through habit. As you listen, imagine lying on ground that still carries the day, not hot, not cold, just steady, supportive, present. Notice how your own body responds to this idea, perhaps a sense of heaviness that feels safe rather than tiring, perhaps a deeper exhale, perhaps a feeling dropping down into rest. The earth beneath the wetlands has known countless nights like this. It has held rain, roots, footsteps, and rest for generations. Its memory is not selective. It offers warmth to anything that lies upon it. This teaches a quiet truth. Support does not need to be earned. It can simply be received. The capybaras remain still now, their breathing slow and even, bodies aligned with the gentle warmth below. The night air cools above them, creating a soft balance. Cool to breathe, warm to rest upon. If your thoughts begin to fade, let them. Like warmth rising from earth, awareness can soften without disappearing. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. The ground is doing that for you. The memory of warm earth remains steady and patient, carrying the night forward. In the deep quiet of the wetlands, nothing exists alone. Breath, movement, warmth, and sound all pass gently between water, land, and living bodies. The ecosystem breathes as a whole, slowly, evenly, without any single part directing the rhythm. The capybaras rest within this shared breath. Plants release moisture into the night air. Water cools and rises as faint mist. Soil exhales the warmth it has been holding since daylight. These changes are subtle, nearly invisible, yet they shape the comfort of everything present. The world adjusts itself continuously, without instruction. In gentle reflection, this is cooperation without awareness of cooperation. No species pauses to coordinate. No element checks its role. Balance emerges naturally because each part responds to what is near, what is immediate, what is true in the moment. The result is harmony that does not need to be maintained. It sustains itself. Capybaras contribute without effort. Their grazing shapes plant growth. Their paths open space for water to move. Their resting bodies return nutrients quietly to the soil. Even in stillness, they participate. Even in sleep, they belong. As you listen, consider how different this feels from systems driven by control. Here, nothing forces balance. It arises from responsiveness, from listening rather than directing. You may notice your own breath now, moving without command, inhaling, exhaling, each breath adjusting to the last, creating its own gentle rhythm. The wetlands do the same. Water levels shift slightly with temperature. Insects respond to moisture and light. The night air settles into layers of cool and warmth. Everything listens, and in listening, everything fits. The capybaras remain at ease within this breathing system. Their bodies trust it because it has always held them. There's no sense of separation, only participation. This offers a quiet comfort. You do not need to manage the whole to belong within it. You only need to respond gently to what is close. If sleep feels nearer now, allow it. You're not stepping away from awareness. You are joining a wider rhythm, one that continues whether you are awake or not. The ecosystem breathes. The night holds steady, and rest moves naturally through everything that remains. Change moves quietly through the wetlands, rarely announcing itself. Water levels shift. Temperatures soften or cool. Grass grows taller, then yields. Within these changes, the capybara adapts, not through effort or struggle, but through gentle adjustment. Adaptation here feels less like survival and more like listening. The body responds before thought. When water rises, floating becomes longer. When land dries, resting places shift closer to shade. When nights cool, bodies gather a little nearer. None of this requires planning. The body reads the moment and answers it softly, as if following a familiar melody that changes key without losing its tune. In gentle reflection, this is adaptation as poetry. There is rhythm rather than resistance, movement rather than conflict. The capybara does not attempt to preserve yesterday's conditions. It meets today as it is, trusting that comfort can still be found within it. This trust is not naive. It is learned, shaped by countless nights that ended safely, countless changes that passed without harm. As you listen, you may sense how often adaptation in your own life has been framed as effort, as something to push through. Here, that framing loosens. Adaptation can be soft, it can be quiet, it can happen without tension in the body. Notice your breath again, how it adjusts without instruction, slightly deeper, slightly slower. This too is adaptation. The wetlands offer no single fixed condition, yet life remains calm within them. The capybaras show that flexibility does not require alertness at all times. It requires trust in the present moment and the willingness to respond gently rather than react sharply. As night continues, the world shifts almost imperceptibly. Air cools a little more, sounds thin slightly, bodies settle a fraction deeper into rest. None of this disturbs the calm, it completes it. The poetry of adaptation is written in these small adjustments, a body leaning closer, a breath slowing, a mind releasing what it no longer needs to hold. You do not need to prepare for change right now. You are not being asked to adjust to anything new. You are simply invited to notice how easily the body knows how to soften when the moment allows it. The night adapts, the wetlands adapt, and rest remains, steady and kind. As the year turns, the wetlands change without asking anyone to notice. Seasons arrive gently, each one offering its particular tone. Longer days, heavier rains, cooler nights, never demanding response, only allowing adjustment. The land does not insist on recognition. It simply becomes what the moment requires. The capybaras live within this ease. They do not mark seasons by dates or names. They feel them through warmth and coolness, through the height of grasses, through the way water spreads or recedes. Change is sensed in the body before it is ever understood, and because it is felt gradually, it never overwhelms. In gentle reflection, seasons that ask for nothing offer a rare comfort. There is no expectation to perform differently, no urgency to become something new. The body adjusts at its own pace, guided by signals that arrive softly and repeat until they are familiar. When days grow hotter, rest lengthens. When nights cool, closeness deepens. When rain returns, floating becomes easier. Nothing is forced, nothing is delayed. The rhythm responds naturally. As you listen, notice how your own body recognizes time passing, not through calendars, but through sensation. A deeper need for rest, a preference for warmth or cool air, a subtle change in breath or posture. These are seasonal movements within you, happening quietly, without instruction. The wetlands honor these movements by never rushing them. Plants grow and shed at their own speed. Water rises and falls when it must. Animals adjust without judgment. No season apologizes for arriving. No season lingers longer than it should. This offers a gentle lesson. You do not need to justify where you are in your own cycle. Rest does not require explanation. Change does not require permission. As night holds steady, the season rests within it, whatever season it may be. The capybaras remain calm, supported by rhythms older than memory, trusting that the world knows how to carry itself forward. If sleep feels close now, let it come as a season does, quietly, naturally, without asking anything of you. The wetlands remain patient, the rhythm continues, and rest belongs here. In the wetlands, rest is not something discovered late in the day. It is practiced continually, woven into every hour. The capybara does not wait until exhaustion arrives. It rests when the moment allows, and in doing so, it remains balanced, never pushed too far in either direction. Rest here is a skill learned early and kept gently sharp. Young capybaras rest often, drifting into sleep beside adults, waking briefly, then settling again without resistance. There is no tension between activity and stillness. One flows into the other as naturally as breath flows in and out. Over time, the body learns when to soften, when to pause, when to let go. In gentle reflection, this skill is not about stopping. It is about listening, listening to warmth, listening to fatigue before it deepens, listening to the quiet invitation of stillness when it appears. The wetlands provide many places for this kind of rest. Soft ground that yields, water that supports without pressing, shade that cools without darkening completely. Each offers a different kind of pause, allowing the body to choose what it needs in the moment. As you listen, notice how rest feels in your own body right now. Not asleep yet, just rest, a release in the shoulders, a slowing behind the eyes, a deeper, easier breath. You do not need to perfect this feeling. Like the capybara, you can trust that the body knows how to rest when given the chance. The skill is already there, learned long ago, waiting patiently beneath effort and thought. The night continues to deepen. Sounds thin. Movements grow rare. The capybaras remain settled, resting not because they must, but because rest fits the moment. This is rest as a natural skill, quiet, practiced, forgiving. And as you remain here, listening, you may find that your body remembers it too. In the quietest hours, when the wetland feels suspended between breaths, there is a subtle surrender that takes place. Not a giving up, but a giving over. The capybaras know this moment well. It is when effort loosens just enough for the current of water, of warmth, of night to decide what happens next. In the river, this surrender is literal. Bodies float without direction, guided by the smallest movements of water. There is no need to choose a path. The current moves slowly, predictably, carrying each body only as far as it needs to go. When the river bends, the body bends with it. When the water stills, the body remains. This is not passivity, it is trust. In gentle reflection, letting the current decide means releasing the need to control what does not require control. The capybara does not fight the water's direction, nor does it follow it blindly. It remains present, responsive, allowing movement to occur without effort. As you listen, notice how often your own mind tries to steer even when rest is already possible. Planning the next thought, holding on to the last one. Here, that steering can soften. You do not need to guide yourself towards sleep. The current of the night already knows the way. Notice your breath again, how it moves without instruction, how one breath leads naturally into the next. This too is a current. The wetlands are full of these gentle guides, water finding low ground, warmth rising, sound settling into steady patterns. None of them rush, none of them hesitate. They simply continue, moment by moment. The capybaras float or rest at the edge, eyes half closed now, awareness thin and wide. The current does not pull them away from safety. It carries them deeper into it. If sleep begins to draw closer, You can let it. There is no moment you must recognize, no point you must cross deliberately. Like the river, rest arrives through continuity rather than force. Let the current decide. You are already being carried. There is a quiet dignity in moving slowly through the world. In the wetlands, slowness is not hesitation, nor is it weakness. It is the natural pace of a place that values balance over speed, presence over arrival. The capybaras embody this serenity without effort. When they move, nothing is abrupt. Each step unfolds fully before the next begins. Weight transfers smoothly. The body remains close to the ground, never lifting too far away from support. Even when walking together, there is no pressure to keep up. The pace adjusts itself, shaped by comfort rather than comparison. In gentle reflection, slowness creates space. It allows the body to register where it is. It allows the senses to remain soft rather than sharp. It allows the mind to loosen its grip on outcomes. The wetlands seem to encourage this pace. Grass parts slowly, then returns. Water responds to movement with long, fading ripples. Sound lingers just long enough to be noticed, then settles again. Nothing here rewards haste. Everything responds best to calm continuity. As you listen, notice how your own body responds to this idea of moving slowly. Even if you are still, there is an inner pace, how quickly thoughts arise, how tightly attention holds. You may feel that pace easing now, stretching gently, as if time itself has softened. The capybaras move only when movement feels right, and when it does not, they stop without apology. Stillness and motion are not in conflict. They are simply different expressions of the same calm rhythm. This serenity carries into rest as well. When movement ends, it ends completely. There's no lingering tension, no unfinished urgency. The body knows it has arrived exactly where it needs to be. You do not need to hurry towards sleep. You do not need to slow yourself down deliberately. Like the capybara, you can allow your pace, inner and outer, to find its own gentle equilibrium. The wetlands continue in their quiet way. Movement fades, stillness deepens, and serenity settles in, unforced and complete. There is a kind of return that does not require travel. It happens without footsteps, without distance, without departure from where you already are. In the wetlands, this return is felt each night as bodies settle into a familiar ease, a sense of coming back to something that has been present all along. The capybaras know this return well. They do not search for it. They do not prepare for it. It arrives naturally as movement fades and rest deepens. The body recognizes a state it has visited countless times before and slips into it without resistance. Nothing new is reached. Nothing old is left behind. In gentle reflection, this return is a remembering of simplicity, a remembering of breath moving on its own, of weight being held without effort, of awareness spreading wide enough that nothing presses at its edges. The wetlands support this return through repetition. The same sounds reappear each night. The same textures greet resting bodies. The same quiet patterns unfold. Through this familiarity, the body learns that it does not need to stay alert to remain safe. As you listen, you may feel something similar, a sense that you are arriving somewhere calm without having gone anywhere at all. That rest is not a destination. but a state that opens when effort releases. If thoughts drift now, let them. They are not pulling you away. They are simply passing through a wide, quiet space. Like ripples fading on water, they do not disturb what lies beneath. The capybaras remain settled, breathing slow and even, awareness thinned to the gentlest presence. The night feels complete now, not empty, but whole. Returning without leaving teaches a final quiet truth for this part of the journey. You do not need to escape your life to find rest. You only need to allow yourself to return to what is already here. The wetlands hold steady, the night deepens, and you remain, resting, supported, at ease. In the deep quiet of the night, the question from earlier returns, not as a thought to be answered, but as a feeling that has slowly taken shape. It drifts back like a familiar scent in the dark, softened now by everything you have witnessed. What does a life without hurry remember? The wetlands seem to respond without words. They remember warmth held in the ground. They remember water carrying bodies without effort. They remember paths worn gently, never forced. The capybaras rest within this remembering. Their bodies no longer move except for breath. Awareness has thinned to a calm presence, wide and unfocused, like moonlight spread across water. Nothing in them is searching. Nothing is waiting. In this state, memory is not a story. It is a condition. A life without hurry remembers safety. It remembers repetition without boredom. It remembers that rest arrives when nothing is being demanded. The capybara does not recall individual days. It remembers rhythms. It remembers that the night has always held, that the river has always returned to its banks, that closeness has always softened vigilance. These memories live in the body, not the mind. As you listen, you may feel the question settling in your own body now, not asking you to think, but inviting you to notice. Notice how little effort is required to be here. Notice how breath continues without guidance. Notice how the body knows how to let go when it is allowed. You have already answered the question in a quiet way, by slowing, by listening, by remaining. The wetlands hold this answer gently. The capybaras rest inside it. And you are welcome to rest there too, without finishing any thought, without reaching any conclusion. The question fades again, no longer needed. The night remains. As the night deepens, the wetlands enter a quieter layer of time. This is not the stillness of absence, but the stillness of settling, when each creature finds its place and remains there without need for movement. Around the resting capybaras, other lives adjust softly. Insects refine their rhythms, their sounds becoming more even, less insistent. Small night birds call once or twice, then fall silent again. The river continues its low murmur, unchanged, dependable. Nothing startles, nothing intrudes. Each sound fits into the night like a familiar breath. The capybaras do not respond to these changes with alertness. They have learned the difference between disturbance and continuity. These sounds belong. Because they belong, the body does not need to rise toward them. Awareness stays wide, relaxed, unafraid. This is how night creatures settle, not by withdrawing from the world, but by trusting its patterns. In gentle reflection, this settling is an agreement between body and environment. The world promises not to demand. The body agrees to release. Together, They create a space where rest can deepen without interruption. As you listen, notice how your own surroundings may be doing the same. Sounds thinning, movements slowing, even light growing less relevant. The night does not require participation. It only asks that you allow it to continue. The capybaras remain almost motionless now. Breathing is slow and regular. Bodies feel heavier, closer to the earth or water beneath them. The boundary between waking and sleep becomes indistinct, not crossed, but dissolved. If you feel yourself drifting, let it happen without noticing too closely. There is no moment to mark. Like the wetlands, you can simply settle where you are. Night creatures have found their places. The world has grown quieter without effort, and rest continues to unfold, gently and naturally. There's a point in the night when watchfulness no longer feels necessary, not because awareness disappears, but because it softens into something gentler. In the wetlands, vigilance does not vanish, it transforms. It becomes calm. The capybaras rest in this state. Their bodies remain aware of the world, yet nothing is held tightly. Ears are relaxed, eyes are closed or barely open. Breath moves evenly without pause or strain. Awareness spreads outward, no longer focused on any single detail. It is everywhere at once, and because of that, it does not need to concentrate. This is vigilance without effort. In gentle reflection, this kind of calm awareness comes from trust built over time. The body learns, night after night, that the world continues without harm, that familiar sounds remain familiar, that the ground supports, that closeness protects. Eventually, alertness no longer needs to stand guard. It can rest too. As you listen, you may notice how often your own mind remains watchful out of habit rather than necessity, holding attention just in case, staying slightly tense even when nothing is wrong. Here, that habit can soften. You are not being asked to let go of awareness. You are being invited to let awareness rest. Notice your breath again, not to change it, only to feel its steadiness. Inhale, exhale. Each breath confirms that the moment is continuing safely, without intervention. The wetlands offer no sudden shifts. The river sounds the same. The night air moves gently. The rhythms you have listened to for so long now remain constant. Because of this consistency, vigilance can ease without risk. The capybaras sink deeper into stillness. Their bodies are heavy, supported, untroubled. If something were to change, awareness would return naturally. For now, it is free to soften. You can allow the same. Nothing needs monitoring. Nothing needs anticipation. This moment is complete as it is. When vigilance becomes calm, sleep is no longer something to reach. It is simply what happens next, carried forward by the steady continuation of the night. The wetlands remain quiet. Awareness rests, and calm deepens naturally. In the deepest quiet of the night, the wetlands seem to pause, not stopping, but holding a steady, unbroken rhythm. Water lies almost motionless now, its surface smooth and dark, reflecting only the faintest traces of sky. This stillness does not feel empty, it feels complete. The capybaras rest within this calm. Bodies are settled fully. Weight released into earth or water. Breathing has found its slowest, most natural pace. Each inhale arrives without effort. Each exhale leaves just as gently. There is no need to deepen the breath, no need to guide it. The body knows exactly what to do. Still water mirrors this steadiness. The river no longer shows ripples from movement. It holds reflection softly, without distortion. Even sound seems to slow as it passes across the surface. Everything aligns to the same quiet tempo, as if the night itself is breathing. In gentle reflection, this is where effort truly ends. There's nothing left to observe, nothing left to consider, only the continuation of what is already happening. As you listen, your own breathing may begin to match this rhythm, not consciously, but naturally. The space between breaths lengthens slightly. Muscles soften further, thoughts thin until they feel distant, almost transparent. You do not need to follow any image now. You do not need to stay with a story. Like still water, awareness can remain without movement, without direction. The capybaras remain deeply at rest. Awareness has settled into the body, no longer reaching outward. The world continues quietly around them, but it no longer asks to be noticed. This is the threshold, not a line to cross, but a gentle merging between listening and sleeping, between being here and letting go. Still water, steady breath, and nothing else required. The last traces of light have long since loosened their hold, yet something gentle remains, an afterglow not seen, but felt. It drifts quietly through the wetlands, thinning with each passing moment, until even the memory of brightness softens into rest. The capybaras do not notice this change. They do not need to. Their bodies are already aligned with the night. Muscles have released fully. Breath moves without pause or effort. The sense of time has faded into a continuous quiet now. Light, like thought, is no longer necessary. Around them, the world feels dim in the kindest way. Shapes are implied rather than defined. Distances shrink. Everything feels close, contained, held. Nothing reaches outward, nothing presses in. In gentle reflection, this is the moment when awareness no longer needs an object. There is no image to hold, no sound to follow. Attention rests on itself, wide and empty, like a sky without stars. If any thoughts appear now, they arrive faintly and leave just as quietly. They do not gather. They do not form meaning. Like the last glow of evening, they drift away on their own. The capybaras remain deeply still. Their presence is almost indistinguishable from the land and water that support them. The boundary between body and environment has softened, blending into a single, resting whole. You may feel something similar now, a sense of sinking, not downward, but inward, a gentle withdrawal from effort, a comfort in not needing to be aware of anything in particular. This is not emptiness. It is rest without edges. Light has finished its work for the night. The world no longer needs to be seen, and you are free to remain exactly where you are, without holding on. Everything slows. Everything softens, and the night continues, quietly carrying you onward. In the quiet depth of night, repetition continues without anyone noticing it. Breath follows breath, water follows its course. Warmth rises, fades, and rises again. These patterns no longer need attention. They simply happen, steady and reliable, like a lullaby that no longer needs to be heard to be felt. The capybaras rest inside this repetition. Nothing about their stillness is new. It has happened before, many times, in many nights just like this one. And because it is familiar, it feels safe. The body does not question what comes next. It recognizes the rhythm and allows it to carry everything forward. Repetition here is not monotony. It is reassurance. Each breath confirms the last. Each moment supports the one before it. Nothing breaks the pattern, and nothing needs to. In gentle reflection, repetition without thought is where true rest settles in. When the mind no longer checks in, when awareness no longer scans, when the body trusts that the next moment will arrive just as gently as the last, if there is any sense of time remaining now, it begins to blur. Minutes stretch or disappear entirely. The night becomes a single, unbroken space, held together by rhythms too slow to count. The wetlands continue their quiet cycles. Insects hum softly. Water moves where it must. The air remains still and kind. None of these things require watching. They will continue whether you notice them or not. The capybaras breathe. They rest. They remain. You can do the same. There is nothing left to follow, nothing left to imagine. Repetition has taken over, and it will keep going on your behalf. Like a gentle tide, it carries the body deeper into rest without asking permission. This is where thought fades naturally, not pushed away, not silenced, simply no longer needed. The night holds steady. The rhythm continues, and you are free to drift wherever rest leads next. In the stillest hours, the distinction between resting bodies and the land beneath them begins to soften. Weight is no longer felt as separate from support. The earth holds without effort, and the body accepts without resistance. Everything settles into a shared quiet. The capybaras lie fully at rest now. Their breathing is slow, even, almost imperceptible. Muscles have released all unnecessary tension. The shape of each body blends gently into grass, soil, or water, as if the land itself has taken on their form. Nothing stands apart. The wetlands feel eased by the stillness. Water remains calm, untroubled by movement. The air is steady, neither cooling nor warming noticeably. Sounds are few and distant, softened by space and repetition. The world seems content to remain exactly as it is. In gentle reflection, this is rest that extends beyond the individual. It is not only the body that sleeps, but the environment that supports it. Land and life settle together, sharing the same quiet state. If awareness remains for you now, it may feel diffuse, almost weightless. There is no single place to focus, no edge to return to. The sense of self softens, not disappearing, but resting along with everything else. You do not need to hold yourself together anymore. The world is doing that for you. The capybaras remain motionless, carried by familiarity, warmth, and the steady continuation of the night. They do not dream of movement. They do not anticipate waking. They simply remain. Bodies at rest, land at ease, and nothing more required. The night has settled into its longest pause, not a stopping, but a sustained stillness where nothing presses forward and nothing pulls away. Time stretches into a gentle, unmarked space, and the world seems content to remain there. The capybaras rest without movement. Breath comes and goes so quietly it is almost impossible to notice. Bodies are heavy, fully surrendered to the ground or the water that holds them. There is no sense of waiting for morning. Night is complete in itself. Around them, the wetlands remain unchanged. Water does not rush. Air does not shift. Sound does not interrupt. Everything agrees to stay. In gentle reflection, this pause is where effort finally dissolves. There is no past to consider and no future to prepare for. Only the steady continuation of being, soft, uninterrupted, and kind. If any awareness remains now, it is like a distant glow behind closed eyes. Not focused, not searching, simply present, without direction. Thoughts no longer form fully. Sensations fade into background warmth. You do not need to notice this happening. You do not need to let go deliberately. The long pause of night does that for you. The capybaras remain still, their rest deep and undisturbed. The land holds them easily. The water supports without movement. The night carries everything forward without effort. Nothing is required of you here. Nothing is expected. The pause continues, unbroken. Nothing changes now. And because nothing changes, rest completes itself. The wetlands remain as they are, quiet, steady, held in the long breath of night. Water continues without ripple. Earth offers support without pressure. The air rests close, gentle and still. There is no moment to mark, no ending to announce. The capybaras remain deeply at ease. They do not know they are resting. They do not know the night is passing. They are simply carried within it. Breath moves on its own. Warmth remains where it should. Awareness has softened into something wordless and wide. In this final quiet, there is no story left to follow, no image to hold, no thought to complete. The journey has dissolved into the same calm that was present all along, steady, patient, forgiving. If you are awake, you do not need to stay. If you are drifting, there's nothing to return to. The wild continues its gentle motion without you watching it. Rivers flow, bodies rest, night holds everything equally. And in this holding, the last words arrive softly, without emphasis, without effort, like a breath you do not notice leaving. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion.